what is financial advice? Probably the number one question I'm asked when I'm at barbecues with friends or family and I tell people I'm a financial planner is, well, what is it that you guys even do? What is financial advice? Now, without sounding too cheesy, it's really whatever the clients need the advice to be. However, at its core, financial advice is goals-based. When we meet with our clients, we first work to understand their circumstances. We then look to see their needs as well as understand their objectives. Once we have a firm understanding of these core principles, we can start putting together a strategy and a bit of a roadmap to help our clients achieve their goals. Now, as financial advisors, we have many tools at our disposal, ranging from the use of superannuation, investments, protecting a plan with insurances, as well as looking into things like tax planning and retirement modelling. Now, for today's presentation, we're going to be focusing on how we help clients through the use of property and property strategies, and looking to see where there's great synergies between our firms. So the value of financial advice, really this can be split into two major categories. We have the quantitative value of financial advice. This is things like saving on tax, saving on fees, or decreasing a client's insurance premiums, or making them more money through better investments and strategies. We then have also the qualitative side of financial advice. So this is more so making sure that the clients feel secure in their future. We take the stress out of money. We make sure they have a structured plan that they can follow and give them peace of mind. So just starting off with some real basic property 101 concepts, and then we'll start moving into some of the strategies that we use with our clients. So when we're thinking on property and we're thinking around people we deal with, we want to understand why is it that people look to purchase property. We can really split it into two major reasons. The first being as a place to live. Now, when a client is looking for property as a place to live, generally emotions play a very big role in this decision. Things like, oh, can I grow my family here? Is there room in the backyard for the dog to run around? Now, a lot of the time, these emotions can really cloud our decisions and at times lead to less than optimal property purchases. We then, on the other side of this, have using property as an asset to invest in. Now, this is where we should take all the emotions out of this. Now, granted, some people don't, but it's best practice if we do, just to look at the numbers, look at the potential growth, the potential yield. Now, this is where firms like yours come into play as absolute gold. You guys complete the correct due diligence process, you're able to find the correct suburbs and then the correct projects within those suburbs for clients to invest in. Hence why we find there's such great synergies working between our firms. So then thinking around, okay, we've purchased a property. Now, what is it that makes the asset grow? Very simple, supply and demand, cause of economics. When we look at different types of properties, we have our apartments. Now, of course, when we're thinking supply and demand, there's almost infinite supply of apartments. Hence, as we'd all know, the growth of these properties are at times rather limited. If we then look at house and land packages, making sure that we're making the right decisions in the right areas, that can lead to fantastic results. However, sometimes we do hear horror stories of clients purchasing in the wrong areas. And then, of course, established homes, just making sure that it's the correct home in the correct area. So moving on through, how is it then that people actually make money or grow wealth through property? There's really two core drivers to the creation of wealth when it comes to property. The first one is rental income, otherwise known as yield. Now, this is where firms like yours, again, really shine. They're able to select areas where the rental yield is high, and you have great inside knowledge on where it is that consumers want to move and live, and hence rental prices will go up. We then also have capital growth. Now, this is just the value of the property growing over time. If we combine this with the power of leveraging, so borrowing money from the bank, and then the power of compound interest, just giving ourselves time, That's where we see very, very large growth in wealth through property. Just running through some real quick numbers, and I know you guys are familiar with these because in fact, Lydia shared a very similar story with me in our first conversation. If we take $100,000 of a client's wealth and we look at a few different scenarios. The first is we just leave this at the bank at a pretty generous interest rate of 1.2%. After 1 year, that client has made $1,200. Option B is investing this in shares or markets around the world, perhaps getting a return of about 7%, something we'd expect from a balanced through to growth kind of portfolio. After 1 year, we'd be expecting a $7,000 return. However, if we take this $100,000, we use it as a 20% deposit, leveraging this to then purchase a property, of which grows also at 7%, all of a sudden, we've been able to have a 35% return thanks to the power of leveraging. Now, if we leave this structure in place for many years to come, we can see the huge benefit that comes through compounding. All of a sudden, we are far, far ahead by using property as an asset. Now, yes, of course, as financial advisors, we also set up these leveraged structures with clients and shares. And yes, you probably see very similar results. However, we find that a lot of clients feel safer with property. And if you're doing the correct due diligence and you're purchasing in the right areas, then yes, property does come with a little bit more security.